G'day gamers, Aussie Wargamer here in Moree, Australia, and welcome to my channel. On this episode, I'll be looking back at my video about what I wanted to see in AOS 2 and whether or not I got it. So let's get to it, eh? So the first thing I wanted, and the most important, was to maintain the simplicity of the core rules. I think that's really important to the integrity of the game. So having played a bunch of games with the new edition, it feels very much like the Age of Sigmar of old. Very much like Age of Sigmar always has. There are a few tweaks that tighten everything up and more explanation for rules for clarity's sake. But I think the AOS simplicity is still there. Now, with all the realm rules and endless spells, layers of complexity can be added to the game, which is bonza if you want to get into all of that. Tying into all this was the second thing I wanted, which was increased clarity, specifically around battalions. And we've got a whole page on them in the new core rules, so that's a cracking outcome, I reckon. Well, let's have a look at the third thing I wanted, eh? But what I'd love to see is a core spell lore that all wizards can access. So I didn't get exactly what I wanted here, but instead I reckon something a little bit cooler. Malign sorcery. 14 endless spells with another 6 being released since. Spell laws for all the mortal realms except for Azir. So many spells. I think having access to so many spells on top of the new 30-inch dispel range makes choosing what spells your wizards cast so much more strategic, and arcane terrain so much more useful. So the next thing relates to rules for shooting into combats. Here's what I said. I reckon the way forward is to say that you can only shoot at units that are within 3 inches of friendly units if you also are within 3 inches of that enemy unit. I came pretty close to what the actual rule is here, and I think it works much better from both a gameplay and a narrative point of view. I think these shooting rules, along with Look Out Sir, balances out the shooting in the game a little bit, which is always good. Finally, here's what I wanted out of the Nighthaunt release. I'd love the new Nighthaunt to be able to interact with Legions of Nagash in some way. So yeah, that's another thing I wanted and got. The contents of Soul Wars is directly playable as Legions of Nagash, and Nighthaunt become allies. I'm looking forward to playing around with them and seeing what works well together. Well, that's all from me. I'll be doing a Q&A video in the next week or two, so if you've got any questions you want me to answer, personal or wargame related, just drop them in the comments below or tweet me at Aussie Wargamer. Thanks for watching, and as always, subscribe if you want to hear more of my voice. Catch us later.